I admit to always improving.
Sam, if I could just get the sentence out, we can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
I liked beer. I still like beer. But I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out.
Dub is a shit fuck, cringe tour, etc., etc.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint when they thought about it.
I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Hello? Is this thing on? Test?
But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines and that they're defective devices, okay?
Testing, testing, testing. Is this, hello? Fuck. God.
But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines and that they're defective devices.
Can anyone hear me? Hello? Yeah! It's the weekend? And so, hold on. Fuck. No. Oh no. Oh. Ah. Is this thing, hello? Yeah! It's the weekend, everybody. Fuck. Is this thing on? Can you?
But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines and that they're defective.
Now, but, is it, hello? Is this on? Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of the goddamn. I'm Hello, users, and welcome to another another episodic I got a phone in my pocket. Installation. Andrea, you've done this 1,000 times. Quit joking like you're confused. I'm not joking. I have no idea what you're talking about. Got a show here, doing a program. Today is Sunday. I've got a receipt here. What's this receipt for? Oh, look at this receipt. What is this? Holy mackerel. Yeah, Bodan's mad as hell. Holy shit. Bodan's about to beat the shit out of me. God damn. Anyway. Do you think it's cool to smoke drugs? Do you think it's cool to do alcohol? Yes, I think it's cool to do both of those things. That being said, they are illegal. Don't do anything that's illegal, kids and adults. Oh, man. Psych. All right, so, y'all, I would like to announce, that today is Sunday, and yeah, it's the weekend, motherfucker! It's the weekend! Woo! Yeah! I don't know. We got two seltzers here today. We got Kroger Lemon. We got Polar Black Cherry. Wait a second. What's going on? Hopefully I don't spill any on my keyboard. Whoa! We got some live alchemy occurring live right now. We've got some alchemaic experiences. We are going in deep, everybody. This is insane. Can I kid any more in here? I'm continuing. It's happening. This is like a very... Oh, I'm filled it up. Oh. Yeah! So, we got a show here. Just for everyone's reference, I am not on drugs right now. Though, I could be. but that requires me getting up. So, I mean, I had a lot of caffeine this morning. Today is Sunday. Sunday is part of the weekend. Let's get into the news. A class of kindergartners accidentally drank tequila during snack time at a Michigan school. I mean, it happens. You ever just like, reach for the salty glass with limes on it and accidentally take a sip? Anyone ever done that? Let's read. A kindergarten class in Michigan accidentally consumed tequila during snack time, Fox 2 Detroit reported. One of the kids brought a bottle of ready-to-drink Joe's Cuervo margaritas to Grand River Academy, Livonia, in her backpack, according to the news outlet. Several students drank it. One kindergartner, quote, felt woozy, damn, and, quote, a little dizzy after having 4 or 5 sips from a Dixie cup, a parent told Fox 2 Detroit. This is hilarious. The kindergartners who drank the margaritas told their parents they thought it was juice. But the kindergartner who initially brought the drink in knew it was alcoholic. So this is one of the downsides of feeding kids juice. By the way, juice is garbage. What is juice? It's concentrated sugar. It's non-carbonated soda. That's it. What's the difference between orange juice and orange soda? One has carbonation. That's it. Like, unless you're doing, like, fresh squeezed, you take a fruit and you throw it in a blender or something. But let's be honest, you're not doing that. You're getting the goddamn fucking drink boxes and the fucking juice packets and the fucking Tropicana this and the fucking the Minute Maid that. You're not drinking, like, real juice. You're drinking soda pop without carbonation. Let's be real. So when kids are trained to drink juice, they'll drink anything. The girl poured it in her cup, and she drank it. And the girl ended up telling her what it is. And she went and told the teacher, there is liquor in this cup! And the teacher gave her a funny face. Dominique Zanders, a mother of one of the kindergartners, told Fox 2. Zanders, that's a great last name. I wish my last name was Zanders. It's crazy. In a statement, the school said faculty called poison control when they learned the children had been drinking margaritas. I love this story. While we try to keep an eye on everything our students bring to school, that's simply not possible. I mean, we can tell that from all the school shootings going around in this country. Let me read that again. While we try to keep an eye on everything our students bring to school, that is simply not possible. Yeah. Has it been possible since, 1999? The school said in a statement, it's unfortunate that these types of adult beverages can be easily mistaken for child-friendly drinks. Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare try to do the whole, oh, we gotta ban flavored alcohol. Fuck you. Fuck you, okay? Fuck you. The real problem is that we're feeding our children juice boxes in fucking, Minute Maid, fucking orange juice, lime juice, lemon juice, lemonade. That's the problem. How many dumb motherfuckers were told by their parents, who in this instance are the real dumb motherfuckers, that orange juice is healthy for you? And then instead of actually drinking orange juice, they drink that heavily processed Tropicana crap? Do you know anyone in your family that's I'm gonna drink orange juice, and then they whip out the fucking carton of highly processed fucking Minute Maid trash? Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. And what kind of parent lets their kid have access to the liquor cabinet? Sunny D. Oh my god, Sunny D tastes like cancer. I'm not sure if they're short-staffed or whatever. It shouldn't have happened, Zanders told Fox 2 Detroit. I think really, we have to be honest, the parents who did not properly store their alcohol are the real ones to blame here. Like, let's be real. Like, should the school have been monitoring them better? Sure, yeah. But also, what's going on with their parents that are teaching their kids? A kindergartner should not know what alcohol even is, right? You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck is a kindergartner gonna go like, yeah, this is alcohol? What? They're fucking 5 years old, dude. They're fucking 5 years old. You know, Republicans are talking about this don't say gay bill. Kids under 3rd grade shouldn't be allowed to know about gay people. I say, let's bring forth legislation, don't say booze. We cannot teach kids about alcohol under 3rd grade. How the fuck is a 5-year-old knowing what the hell alcohol is? If your child knows what it is, nothing wrong with it, but they should know not to touch it. Alexis Smith told Fox 2 Detroit that it's not for kids. I had a small conversation with my daughter, nothing big, and she told me the girl knew it was liquor, Smith said. Grand River Academy, Livonia did not immediately respond to Insider's request to comment. Whoops. Anyway, that's pretty funny. They're going to be fine. I'm not advocating to give alcohol to kids, but I mean, like, it's not going to, like, accidentally having, like, one margarita is not going to, is not going to kill anyone. But, like, I'm very curious as to why the alcohol was available to the child. The child knew what it was and was able to bring it to school. That I'm curious about. That I'm very curious about. But anyway, so that's the show. Y'all motherfuckers. My dad used to eat raw garlic. First of all, used to? What, is your dad dead? He should still be eating raw garlic. Second of all, I had raw garlic this morning. I had 2 whole cloves. While I was cooking, cutting up garlic, I was like, you know what? Boop. You know what? Boop. Raw garlic's good for you. Let me tell you, raw garlic has extreme health benefits. Eating raw garlic, chewing on that shit, getting all that allicin. You know what I like to do? I like to have a raw garlic already pre-peeled in a small jar next to my bed. And as soon as I wake up, I eat that shit. I eat 2 of them, 3. Sometimes 10. Just kidding, I don't have 10. I've also never done this in general, but I should. It's a good idea. Coffee, you have to brew the coffee. You gotta fucking, like, do the whole thing. You know, you gotta wait for it. Raw garlic, you just eat that shit ASAP. You wake up, boom. You're up, you're at 'em. You're running down the street, getting the mail. You're fucking mowing the lawn. You're fucking doing jump rope. You know, you're walking the dog. And then you're going like, whoa. And then you get all tired all of a sudden. You're just like, oh, shit. Must have had some raw garlic. Palm heel strike. Is that like a fucking Street Fighter move? Is that like the Shoryuken? Like, what the fuck? The palm heel strike. What? Yeah. Nah. I just chew that shit with my teeth. Naruto shit. Yeah, it sounds like someone's using some jutsus over here. The palm heel strike. Is that like your ultimate move? In Europe, kids get sips of wine at a young age. It's not a big deal. In my opinion, and this may be controversial, and, you know, but my opinion, I personally think some substances, some drugs are so incredible and so amazing and should be part of the human experience. You know, like alcohol, it's not the best. Would people be better off if they didn't have it? Maybe. It's arguable. But in my opinion, like for me, my parents, heavily anti-drug around me. They would tell me if I ever did drugs, I would die. All drugs are evil, etc. My opinion, drugs exist. They've always existed. They always will exist. You know, in my opinion, I feel like they should be part of how parents teach their children. I think if kids' first experiences with drinking are with their parents and not like at a fucking party with their dipshit high school friends, I think people would have a lot better relationships with these substances. Same thing with weed. My opinion, I think weed is one of the greatest things to ever exist. I think it's an integral part of being a human, in my opinion. I think if you look throughout history, right, you'll see many cultures would use things like marijuana in rite of passage ceremonies. You know, like the kid's, 13 sons old now, smoke some goddamn weed. I'm down with that. It's a lot better than having your first experience be, while your fucking friend is driving a car and you're all passing a joint and then your friend fucking crashes into the fucking gas station and blows up like it's a Grand Theft Auto video game. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion. I think that's part of the human experience, and I think parents should take responsibility to teach their kids about alcohol in a safe and constructive way. $666. Well, $6.66. Rudy Keisley, 500 uses of the word fuck per show. I mean, of course, at least. It's a minimum. Some persons cannot handle drugs. I mean, it depends, right? It depends. Like, yeah, I don't think all people can handle drugs, but also they exist. And doing the abstinence, just say no thing doesn't work. It's just a proven failure of a method. To pretend that drugs are evil and you should never touch them, and if you do, you'll die instantly, doesn't work. There's a drug called DMT, and everyone who uses it reports seeing the same interdimensional beings. Yeah, there you go. Now, personally, I think psychedelic drugs are an integral part of the human experience. In my opinion, I think, hey, I'm just saying, it's an integral part. I could not possibly imagine living a complete life and not having these experiences. That's just me, though. Maybe I'm a drug addict. It's possible. Got to get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Yeah, what the fuck, motherfucker? Fuck. Is motherfucker like 2 fucks? Honestly, I think motherfucker should be 2.5 fucks. Right? Because it's like mother, not a swear word. Right? So math is, whatever. But it's like, I've always been told that, like, motherfucker is like that, like, wow. Like, calling someone a fucker. Calling someone a motherfucker is like, ugh. You know what I mean? So I think motherfucker should count as 2 fucks. 2.5, maybe? Grew up Mennonite. Very dry, very clean household. Only night alcohol was consumed was Christmas Eve when we had fondue. What is Mennonite? I know about Moonanites, but not Mennonites. What is this? Mennonite? Mennonites are members of certain Christian groups belonging to the church communities of What the fuck? Are you still a Mennonite? Or is this like a sad story of your childhood? Mennonite, emblem of the Mennonite World Conference. What the fuck? What the hell? I can't with this Mennonite bullshit. Are you still a Mennonite? Similar to Amish. What the fuck? Yeah, I love motherfucker. Samuel Jackson saying motherfucker is an experience. I watched a movie with Samuel Jackson in it yesterday. Got to do the movie review at some point on today's program. They should be honest about those things. That would probably work best. I agree. Modern Amish? But the real question is, are you still a Mennonite? Like, that's my question. Goddamn Mennonites! Like Mennonite? Like the what is that, Kirby? In Kirby? Is that Kirby? Mennonite? I think. I don't know. What the fuck is Mennonite? I think that's a Kirby character. Mennonite. Yeah, Kirby's Pinball Land in the top stage. Fucking Mennonite. Where do you Mennonite? What the hell? No, you haven't changed? Or no? I don't know what you're responding to. No, you're still a Mennonite? Or a Mennonite? Or a Moonanite? I'm like, what is a Mennonite? Like, it sounds like it's... Like, yeah, it's a religion for men. I'm a Mennonite. Religion for men. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I can't with this. I can't with religion. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. I'm sorry. But I don't mean to be too offensive, but do I think that Ron will be worse than Trump, like leftists and liberals are saying? Yeah, probably. All right. Let's get into some news, should we? Shall we? Shall we and should we? Folks. Yeah! It's the weekend! On today's show, yeah, I'm a Mennonite. Amen. Woo! We've entered the random noises portion of the program. That's crazy. I thank everyone for watching the program today. I've had some new Patreon patronizers. I appreciate all those who patronize me. Thank you. That's good. It's a good thing. Goddamn Patreon? What the hell? Anyway. With Elon Musk as an example, should we change eligibility for president? By Douglas McKinnon. When SpaceX founder and Tesla CEO Elon Musk spoke recently at the United States Air Force Academy, thousands of cadets in attendance jumped to their feet as one when he was introduced, breaking into a thunderous applause and cheers as they whipped out their smartphones to film him. Now, I have argued that Donald Trump's election as president in 2016, reminder Donald Trump lost an election in 2020, by the way, was akin to catching lightning in a bottle. After his election, we witnessed a predictable, ego-driven thought pattern among some in the billionaire class. Starbucks Howard Schultz. Schutz? I thought his name was Schultz. This guy apparently says Schutz. I'm going to call him more like Shits. Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Former Disney CEO Bob Iger, I guess. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban. And JP Morgan chairman Jamie Dimon. Like half of these people, who even knows who they are, whose inner circle of voices seem to be telling them, well, if that clown can get himself elected as president of the United States, surely I can. Did Jamie Dimon run for president? I don't remember that happening. Except they couldn't. Not if they spent millions of dollars of their own money. Not one of them has that ultra elusive it factor. Like the clown from outer space? Like him or hate him, Trump has that factor in spades. At least in the minds of more than 74 million voting Americans. I will never get over that. 74 million people voted for Donald Trump. 74 million? Stupid ass, dumb, fuck, shit, for brains, loser, dumb fuck, motherfuckers. 74 million of them voted for Donald Trump. Like, I can't imagine voting for Trump in any capacity, 2016 or 2020. Right? Like, you gotta be pretty fucking dumb. That said, the fact that more people voted for him in 2020 than 2016 will never cease to amaze me. Like, in 2016, he at least pretended a little bit to care about someone other than himself. A little bit. Like, I mean, imagine falling for that shit, right? But, like, in 2020, he didn't even pretend. Like, the whole election was about, we hate black people! Woo! Republicans! Like, that was the whole election. And so he got more votes. I can't. Like, what's the delta between 16 and 20? Like, that many people saw what happened and were like, yeah, I love this guy. That's the guy I'm going to choose. It's insane. Many voters have soured on America's career politicians from both political parties. Once again, I'm just reading. This is from The Hill. Douglas Makalakalu-da-da-da-da. Except they couldn't! Wait, I already read. Many voters have soured on America's career politicians from both political parties. And Trump's election made that a shocking reality. But it still was an election that would not have been possible without the candidate's special it factor. Today, it can be argued that two people well outside the career politician bubble probably have enough of that same personality factor to at least shake the foundation of an election cycle. One is Joe Rogan, host of the Joe Rogan Experience, who signed a $200 million deal with Spotify to broadcast his massively popular program exclusively. Rogan's influence among some Republicans, conservatives, and libertarians appears to be growing by the day. God, could you imagine Joe Rogan running for president? I feel like Joe Rogan is one of those people, I genuinely do. I think he's a garbage can man. But I think Joe Rogan, if he were like the libertarian candidate or like any independent third-party candidate, you know what I mean? Like, I think he has, if anyone has a shot at doing the third-party route, I think Joe Rogan has a shot. I'm just saying. And I hate this motherfucker. But he doesn't strike me as someone who would run as a Republican or a Democrat. I feel like he would, if he were to run for president, he would do that. I think he would take that independent third-party mantle. That's what I think. And I think if anyone could do a third party, I think Joe Rogan could do it. I don't think that's a very short list of people that I think could pull off a third-party run. And by that, I just mean in anything that's not Republican or Democrat. It doesn't have to be a party. It could be independent. But I think he has that chance. And I hope to God he doesn't run. Because I mean, at least he'd legalize weed, right? Like, so. But anyway. The other person is Elon Musk. Unlike Rogan, however, Musk is not a native-born American citizen. Born in South Africa, he became a naturalized U.S. citizen in 2002. That's a citizenship category that the Constitution prohibits from becoming U.S. president or vice president. As the world's wealthiest person, I'm very, very, very skeptical of that claim. As maybe the West's wealthiest person, maybe. But the world's wealthiest person, I don't think so. I think Putin is the world's wealthiest person. There is no doubt that Musk rocks to the beat of his own drummer. He is a disruptor of the status quo, unafraid to speak his mind. His latest flirtation with Twitter, which could involve a hostile takeover of the company, has caused many on the left to attack him and many on the right to champion him. Because of this, some of my friends have asked my opinion about what if Elon Musk presidency. When I explained that the Constitution makes such a scenario impossible, they responded, change it. Well, you don't even have to change it, right? Like, the 14th Amendment, specifically Section 3, says if you engage or give aid and comfort to those who engage in an insurrection against the United States, you are banned from running and you will be expelled from office. That's in the Constitution. 14th Amendment, Section 3. Yet, Madison Cawthorn, still there. Yet, Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, Tom Cotton, they're all still there. So, the Constitution doesn't matter. So, why not let Elon Musk run for president? Oh, the Constitution. What? What? The Constitution? Like, is this a joke? In half of this country, in Republican states, in order to work for the government or anywhere in the public sector, including being a school teacher, you need to literally sign a loyalty pledge to the government of Israel. In half of the states in this country, Republican-led states, in order to work in the public sector, you need to pledge loyalty to the government of Israel. What? Free speech. I thought that's in the First Amendment. Nope, you have no free speech in this country. Constitutionally, I should be allowed to call a cop to his face a pig-brained shitbag. And yet, depending on what cop you're talking to, they will beat the shit out of you. Unconstitutional, by the way, against the amendment for protection from cruel and unusual punishment. And that would be against free speech. And yet, you can go anywhere. It just depends on the cop. It's a random dice roll. So, the Constitution doesn't matter. The Constitution has never mattered. Second Amendment. Oh, everyone loves the Second Amendment. Oh! Right? Look at California. California's got some of the strictest gun laws in the country. Who signed those into law? Ronald Reagan. A far right-wing lunatic. Why would he want to sign legislation that restricts people's right to own guns? Oh, because black people had too many guns, and black people would host demonstrations with their guns outside of government buildings to protect people from white racists. So they took your right to own guns away in California. Why? Well, because the black people had too many of them. So fuck the Constitution. So I'm just saying, the Constitution doesn't fucking matter. I can list off every amendment, every part, every article of the Constitution and tell you when it's been violated. The Constitution is garbage. It doesn't matter. Let's be real. Let's all be honest. None of that shit matters. But anyway, let's keep going. This begs the question, should the Constitution be amended to allow naturalized American citizens to run for president and vice president? I think so. All U.S. citizens should have the same rights and opportunities. But I don't get to override the Constitution, and neither do the rest of us. Except for the Republican Party, by the way. The Republican Party can say, fuck the Constitution, tear it into pieces. So, blah, 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 blah. Ironically, an accurate rating of this clause tells us that there was an exception. If you're an immigrant American citizen at the time the Constitution was ratified in 1788, you are eligible to run for president. So why should it be any different 234 years later? To add to the unfairness, our current system does allow naturalized U.S. citizens to become members of Congress, governors, flag officers in our military, and justices of the U.S. Supreme Court. I don't know why I'm reading this with the fancy accent, probably because these are like billionaire brain shitfucks. Amending the Constitution is a daunting task in the best of times. And then, guess what? Amending the Constitution doesn't do anything because people can just say, fuck that amendment and not follow it. Like the previous examples. And also the amendments themselves, not so good. In today's politically polarized time, it's hard to imagine that an amendment to allow naturalized citizens to run for president or vice president would get 2/3 majority needed in the House and Senate, and the necessary ratification from 3/4 of our state legislatures. I mean, Elon Musk could start the campaign, change the Constitution, right? And then they'll all do it. Could Elon Musk get elected to the White House? Maybe. But we'll never know. And perhaps we all are the poorer for that discriminatory constitution. Like, okay, so wait a second. All right, I love this last line. This last line is great. All right, check this out. And perhaps we are all the poorer for that discriminatory constitutional clause. Like, the real problem with the Constitution, right, is not that it explicitly says only white landowning men can vote. The real problem with the Constitution is not all the free speech loopholes or the, unreasonable search and seizure loopholes, right, that allow the NSA to exist, right? The problem with the Constitution is not that the amendment banning slavery, quote, except for as punishment when you go to jail, you're a slave, right? So that's not a problem. The real discriminatory nature of the Constitution, that the real heart of the issue is that billionaire dude Elon Musk can't be president. That's the real problem that really affects us all. Douglas Mack, a political and communications consultant, was a writer in the White House for Presidents Ronald Reagan and George H. And former special assistant for policy communications at the Pentagon during the last 3 years of the Bush administration. His latest book, The 56 Limited Lessons from Those Who Risked It All to Sign the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, we should really care what this guy has to say. But, trying to get some comic relief on the show here today. My God. If we are going to propose that we change the Constitution, the idea that anyone's main priority on their proposal would be let Elon Musk be president. We have harnessed the power in this country to change the Constitution in any way, and this motherfucker's like, let Elon run! Oh yes, tally-o! What the fuck? Oh. And again, I hate to say it, folks.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Y'all, hopefully y'all are enjoying the programmatic experience for today. Do I own an AR-15? Not yet. Your headline was the most truthful I have ever seen coming from you. Now it all makes sense. My headline? Like on my forehead? Like this? I have 2 of them that are visible headlines. Does that mean I'm getting old? Am I old? Oh no. Oh God, I gotta start wearing makeup. Alright, y'all. So, Vlad Pooty Poot has stated that his mission in Ukraine with this quote-unquote special military operation, his mission, his primary goal, not to eradicate Ukrainians, by the thousands, right? Children, Russian soldiers. He doesn't mean for the Russian soldiers to rape 4-year-olds. He doesn't mean that. It's all accidental. What he really went in to Ukraine to do is to denazify the country. That's the thing, is because Putin hates Nazis. We all know that. He hates them. That motherfucker, he would spit on a Nazi. Right? If he saw them, he would spit on those motherfuckers. He hates Nazis. And so that's why RT, Russia Today, state media, had very famous neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes on to describe the real problems with the West and Russophobia. Right? Because Russia and Putin hates Nazis. They hate them so much that they're killing thousands of children over it. So let's see what neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes has to say.
Well, I think the rhetoric towards Russia since the beginning of this conflict, nothing more than Russophobia. And they talk about Russia, the regime, and the people in a way which is just plain prejudice and bigoted. They talk about Russians as though they're uncivilized, treat them like they're not human beings. And it's a little bit ironic because
I just want to say, just for reference, any person in the media who is attacking Russian citizens, pretty dumb. Now, the Russian regime, to use Nick Fuentes' own words, accidentally, I'm assuming he did not mean to use the word regime, but has jailed tens of thousands of people for going outside with empty signs, blank cardboard and poster board. People that have said, we don't like war. You will be thrown in jail for 10 years if you just don't like the concept of war in Russia. So the Russian citizens that are doing their best to protest against this government should not be condemned in any fashion. Right? And anyone in the Western press or anywhere, even in the Russian press, who are doing the same thing, who would go against Russian civilians is stupid. That said, let's continue.
Opposition to the special military operation in Ukraine is supposedly about so-called human rights, about democracy and dignity and all these things. But when you look at the rhetoric coming from NATO, the European Union, and the United States, you would actually think quite the opposite. Or you would think at least that maybe none of those things apply to the Russians themselves.
So, I mean, he's just saying a bunch of garbage, right? Just state Kremlin talking points. But why on earth would someone like Vladimir Putin state that his goal is to denazify Ukraine? And why on earth would they bring on someone who's a well-documented neo-Nazi to give that point? Like, Nick Fuentes being pro-Putin on his own channel, duh, makes sense, right? But Putin and the Kremlin leveraging that on RT makes no sense. I mean, if you're like, again, this guy, Nick Fuentes, is on tape praising Adolf Hitler, saying that his life mission is to secure, like, the fucking victory for his people or some shit. Like, the guy is an open, proud neo-Nazi. And Kremlin media is like, yeah, let's put this guy on to talk about how NATO is discriminating against Russians. Let's get the neo-Nazi guy who says Hitler, the only problem with Hitler was that he didn't, do more or whatever. Yeah, let's get that guy to talk about. I mean, you can tell, right, that this axis that's being developed, the, like, new axis of evil, like, I don't know if it was like this, right, in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, per se. I wasn't there, where it's like, none of it makes sense, and they're all just kind of like goofballs, and they're blatantly lying. I don't know. I wasn't around in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. I've only read books about it, right? But, like, I don't know, man. The new axis of evil that's being developed in this earth, on this planet, is way, way too incompetent for me to take it seriously. But yet, I mean, they're pretty serious. We're seeing all kinds of new developments happening in Ukraine. We have now satellite imagery showing a lot of Russian war crimes as they occur. We have evidence that Russian soldiers were raping 4-year-old boys. I don't even know, like, how, why, or someone would even do that, right? And it's happening in many cities. Mariupol, Bucha, other places. that are being, just completely destroyed. Thousands and thousands and thousands of innocent civilians being murdered. And Putin's stated goal is to denazify the country. And yet, this is who he's allying with? Anyone who took the denazifying thing seriously, you gotta be pretty fucking stupid. Let's be honest. Anyone who,
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
If you buy the fucking denazification rhetoric, you are a goddamn fucking moron. But, honestly, as time goes on, if it's February 20 whatever, and you're like, oh, well, he's going in to denazify the country. Oh, yeah. And if you're still parroting that stupid garbage, you are too dumb. You are literally in alliance with neo-Nazis. I don't know what to tell you. It's pretty easy to say, hey, the Azov Battalion, they're pretty fucking bad, but also they're 2% of Ukraine's National Guard. So the other 98% should be allowed to fight for freedom for their country from an imperial aggressor. You're allowed to say, yes, I don't like the 2% of the Ukrainian National Guard that are open neo-Nazis. By the way, they're almost all eradicated now. Russian media has literally openly stated that they destroyed the Azov Battalion's core, organization or whatever. That's what they said. So, mission accomplished. You denazify the country, leave, right? But they're not. Why? Because it's not about denazification. Putin is a fucking famous Nazi lover. Right? He talks about Nazis, historical Nazis. We're talking about 30s and 40s Nazis in kind ways all the time. So, let's be honest here. This whole alliance that Putin is building in the media between himself and other world leaders, dumb as fuck. Dumb as fuck. Anyone that buys this shit, stupid as a motherfucker. My God. Could you imagine? Oh, yes, I agree with Nick Fuentes on Putin. Once again.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Don't know what to tell you. How's everyone doing today? How's today? Doing okay? I'm pretty good. What the hell has happened to you? You are spitting some truth today. Are you like one of those weirdo Republicans that watches all of my videos? Because if so, hello? Can you tell me why Donald Trump was praising Vladimir Putin on February 25th? Do you know? Could you find out why? I'm very curious. I just the Republican brain. I will never be able to comprehend the mind of someone who's drawn to fascism. I just can't. Doesn't make any sense to me. Imagine dedicating your whole personality to whatever leader of your club thinks. That's your whole personality. Whatever the leader of your favorite club. That's what I'm going to base my whole personality on. That's a little weird. Arctic show for 6 o'clock. Tune in. Goddamn Arctic. Are you talking about this? This classic moment in human history?
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Man, she is when the edible hits. Am I right, people? Oh! Zelensky is saying that he thinks Putin will probably use nuclear weapons at some point in the near future. So, that's great. Anyway, that's pretty much my show for today. I was planning on doing a short one. I have an opinion, and are you referring to... Whoa, okay. This is one of those sentences that's like written in another language and then sent through Google Translate. But instead of translating it directly to English, it was like translated to like Russian, then translated to like fucking Spanish, then translated to like Chinese or something, then translated to English. Right? So like there's okay. I have an opinion. So far, so good. And are you referring to when Donald Trump said he was when? Do you mean when? Do you mean when? I mean, that was one of many examples. Less than half an hour? What? Am I fucking crazy? My timer is at like 1 hour and 4 minutes. What the fuck? Have we entered like some like fucking... Should we do Q&A time? Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. I'm ready. Let's go. Hit me. I'm fucking ready. I'm goddamn ready. Actually, you know what? I'm not ready. Alright, we'll do a Q&A portion for the program. Get your questions ready to go. I'm going to pee and do some weed. I will be back in a second here. Give me a goddamn. Give me a fucking goddamn. Give me a goddamn. Testing. Yeah! What's up? All right, Q&A time. We're getting in the Q&A. Woo! All right. Anyone give me anything? Okay. What do we got? Where are the super chats at? That's a good fucking question. Say what? That's not even a question for me. Hit you? No violence. Oh. I mean, if you know. Do wed on cam. Smoke on cam. I'm not going to be smoking. I'm going to be vaporizing, so. Need to wear sunglasses? Oh, fuck. Testing. Q and A. What's up? So, we're here. We're fucking queer. Well, I am. And we're going to answer some goddamn Qs. Alright. Fuck. Woo! We got a goddamn dancing hippo. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I am ready to go. I am ready to go. Workout music. That's the Gubble soundtrack. Shout outs to Gubble. Am I right, people? Sorry about that. I'm using speak to text. And I was asking if you were referring to when Donald Trump said Putin was smart. That and many other times. Putin is smart, diabolical, and evil, but the guy didn't get where he is by being stupid. Okay? Are you a Mennonite? Real on 70s! Hey, hey! Am I a Mennonite? No? When will that foil material come down? At some point in the near future. There's alternative plans currently being constructed in regards to the Faraday cage. And until that other plan is constructed, I'll be hanging out in here. I got on 2 glasses. I could get on more. Hold up. All right. Nope, I already spoiled it. Hello, users. That's right. We're going in today. I can't even see out of this shit. We're going in today. Welcome, users, to the stream. I'm chilling here, doing, drugs. Someone take a screenshot. Yeah. How many drugs did I do today? This is my first drug. I mean, I did caffeine. I had coffee this morning. Oh, I still got to do a movie review, don't I? Shit. Got to do a goddamn movie review. I'm back with warm laundry to fold. I love to fold warm laundry. What have I been playing? I actually, yesterday, did a project. I hooked this motherfucker up. Hold on. Let me take out the cables. So yesterday, this little experience, goddamn GameCube. Check this out, y'all. That's right. Someone take a picture. Goddamn gaming and Cuban. Not to be confused with Mark Cuban. Hooked up the GameCube. Actually, 2 days ago, I hooked up the GameCube. And you might be wondering, whoa! Whoa! Look at this GameCube. What is that on the bottom? That's right, it's the Game Boy Player. Because I don't play GameCube games, right? Because I'm not a child. I play Game Boy games, motherfucker. That's right, you didn't see that coming. So what I was playing yesterday, and I might play some more today, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. It's hard to see that label. Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. Popping that motherfucker in. And, don't play GameCube games. I play Game Boy games. Boom. So that's what I've been playing. I hooked that motherfucker up. I will never stop asking you about drugs. That's a good thing. I'm going to write a book about drugs. I want to know what movies you've been watching. I haven't been watching movies recently, but I watched one yesterday, and I'm going to talk about it soon. In fact, I'm going to make sure I don't forget and bring open the page. Wow, massive typos on that, and it's still, Google still knew what I was talking about. That's crazy. Gotta catch up on my goddams. There's been a couple bangers recently. A couple good old-fashioned bangers. You gotta watch goddamn Cooking with the Goddamn. Happy belated birthday to Environmental Coffee House. 70 czars. Love it. My deck would smoke yours. Motherfucker, tell me you don't know about Dungeon Dice Monsters without telling me you don't know about Dungeon Dice Monsters. There's S31 cow. Cow, more like moo, motherfucker. Alright, so first of all, in Dungeon Dice Monsters, it's not a deck, asshole. Fucking asshole. It's a dice pool. Alright, you're throwing dice. There's no deck, there's no cards. It's dice monsters. So not only would your deck, quote-unquote, smoke me, yes or no, the answer is no, but you don't even have a deck, unless we're playing Dungeon Dice Monsters outside on the deck. In which case, I refuse to play outside because the wind could carry away the paper materials and the cardboards. So, I've played board games outside, not good, okay? You need to have paperweights on everything, it's not fun. Let's play inside, okay? Love the new funky bumper music. Y'all motherfuckers, this is not new. This is not funky. Well, I mean, it is funky. This is Gubble music. This is Nebula. The Gubble song, Nebula. For the typical intro and outro, I'll use Supernova. Every once in a while, I'll mix it up. I've got the whole soundtrack on, you know. It's also slowed down. This is a slowed down version. Goddamn birthday. All right, let's talk about what movie I watched yesterday. Talk about the movie. Talk about the movie. Y'all motherfuckers gotta ask me more questions. There's a stunning lack of Q on this Q&A. So yesterday I watched this film for the second time. This is Unbreakable. It is a filmographic experience. It is Unbreakable. So it has Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. And I watched it yesterday. Now I was really high when I watched it, and so factor that in. But the reason why I like this movie is because, you know, it's very clearly, it's got the cliffhanger at the end. It's very clearly part of a larger story. And so I haven't seen Glass yet, which is apparently the sequel film to this. Not seen it. So I'm going to go into that fresh, but I decided, you know what? Let's watch Unbreakable first. But yes, unfortunately, Bruce Willis is quitting. He's retired from movies. You know, so that's a factor. But yeah, so the characters, it's a superhero film. It's a superhero film, but it's like a gritty, modern, realistic superhero film. And that's what's cool about it. So it's got like, one of the characters, Elijah, played by Samuel Jackson. His like whole character is he collects comic books, right? You know, it's like a self-referential. I like it. So basically, you know, you got the super smart villain, just Samuel Jackson, and then you've got like the super dumb fuck, but like bulky, like, you know, infinite power, unbreakable bones. Bruce Willis. You know, and the big scene, you know, this is an origin story. Right? So it's very clearly part one. Now, yes, the other two films are Split, which introduces another villain in the universe, and then Glass. But, you know, I've seen Split before, but anyway. Very clearly this is like a part one. And so, like, you can't really, this is not a complete film. So, you know, and I haven't seen Glass yet, so I'm interested to see how it goes. But it is not a complete film. Most of the film is basically just describing the process of Bruce Willis finding out that he's a superhero, right? So the movie starts with him on a train that, like, blows up or derails, whatever. He's the only survivor. He's untouched. And he's like, how the fuck did I survive? Right? So that's what, you know, and then, you know, eventually someone finds out that he survived, and then, like, you know, then he's like, oh shit, I'm a superhero. So, you know, and then there's like the scene in like the, like, kind of like the later parts of the movie It's like probably like right before the final scene, I think, if I remember correctly. I was really high last night. Where he goes out and he, like, you know, tracks the villain down and then fucks with the villain. That was a great scene because it's raining and he's got like a poncho on and it's got like, it's just super cool. He falls in a pool, you know, and he's weak against water because why not, right? Good movie. It's a good movie. You know, it's a classic origin story, but it's not classic because it's modern. Except this movie was made in 2000. Right? I think Glass is like 2017, isn't it? 2016 maybe? I don't know. But yeah, this is very clearly a part 1. So I don't want to, like, the ending is like a really, it's a quote unquote bad ending. Right? But it's only because it's part 1 of a larger story. So as a part 1 ending, the ending is good. Like, so Samuel Jackson basically tells him that he's been blowing up buildings and burning buildings down to try to find someone like him, who's a superhero, Bruce Willis. And so then, like, he just walks away and text pops up on the screen and says, like, Bruce Willis turned Samuel Jackson in and now he's in jail. And it's like, what? You're not going to show us that? Well, you don't need to because it's not an important part of the story. Right? It's the ending of part 1. Personally, I just have to say, I am an M. Night Shyamalan fan. I don't mind saying that. I don't know why he's got a bad reputation. No idea. Like, the worst M. Night films I've seen are at least extremely funny. Like, at least, like, the really bad ones that people talk about are funny. Like, they're enjoyable in its own way. But also, I've seen a lot of M. Night films that are just genuinely good. This is one of them. This is just a genuinely good movie. So I'm into it. I might be watching the other films in this trilogy over the next couple of days, so I'll get into it. But it's a good movie. Go watch it. Check it out. Yeah, that's right. I'm the cool. I should do all my movie reviews with the glasses on. Yeah, it's Unbreakable. Check it out. That's it. The Visit's good. The Visit is good as fuck. My mother and I were literally having a discussion about M. Night this morning. She was watching The Visit. The Visit is good as fuck. I haven't seen all of M. Night's films, but I've seen a couple. Like, what was the other one? Like The Village or whatever? I saw that one. That was good. I've seen Split. What was that? Was Sixth Sense? Was that him too? Yeah. Yeah, he's made some good bangers. I haven't seen Signs. All right, let's get to the Q&A portion. All right, let's see. I'm scrolling up. This motherfucker, my deck would smoke yours. This motherfucker, I can't with this S31 cow bitch. So, first of all, cows go moo. Second of all, I know I already said this, but it was such a hilariously self-owned, not to be confused with a cell phone, message that you would write. Like, we're talking about Dungeon Dice monsters. Like, how could you expose yourself as such a fraud, as such a faker? Because that's such a faker thing to do. Yeah, that's right. I know about Yu-Gi-Oh. You want to duel on my deck? But we're talking about dice. Like, you don't have decks. You know, I know I already said that earlier, but oh my god, I just read that again and I got triggered a second time. Glass is ass. Well, I mean, personally, I'm a fan. So, what you're describing is a good film. Are you now, or have you ever been a member of the Pete Seeger left? I'm going to be honest, I don't know who Pete Seeger is. Like, I'm vaguely aware of the name, but that is the extent of my knowledge, to be honest with you. And I know that, you know, that may make me a culturally inept swine of some kind, but I'm still learning. I miss Bruce. Reminder to play Apocalypse, the PlayStation 1 game. Bruce Willis is in the game. It's like an action movie, but in video game form, and Bruce Willis is the main character. Andrea, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? So, like, I don't know, what are the options of superpowers? Can I, like, make one up? Like, or if is it, like, the classic superpowers or whatever? Like, oh, I'm gonna fly, or I'm gonna, you know, punch, or... Like, if I had any superpower... Like, can I say time travel? Is time travel a superpower? Because I will go with time travel. Or just, like, you know, immortality. Like, I cannot die or something. That or time travel. But if time travel, like, that's an option, though. I mean, that would be crazy. That's one hell of a superpower. Did you do drugs while watching the film? Of course. What is your favorite meal to cook and or eat? I love the use of emojis. What's my favorite meal to cook? I don't really have favorites to cook. Like, for me, it's just the cooking experience is fun, and the eating experience is fun. I don't know. Like, I like making salads, like anything with a lot of ingredients. I like mixing a lot of different flavors together. So I would say, but like, you know, cooking, do salads count as cooking? I had a stir fry for breakfast this morning, so it's similar in that end. To eat, I mean, I like eating. Anything with hot sauce. I mean, you know me. You know how it is.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Whew. Glasses? Around here we call them shades. I didn't hear you say anything about dice. All my nerd brain head went to Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, but you're a fucking nerd. You're a loser. Right? Here I am. See, I'm the real Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. Right? Because I know what Dungeon Dice Monsters is. Right? I know about the obscure spin-offs. You're like, oh, what if I play Blue Eyes Dragon? Oh, that's you. Oh. Like me, I'm like, you know, I'm putting together ritual monsters. You know, I'm using the Serpent Knight Dragon. You don't even know what that is. Because you're a faker. You're a faker. If you could be any animal, which animal? Elephant? Or dog? Where do you think we'll be here in 30 years, Dad? I am planning on living for at least 174 more years. So, where do I think I'll be in 30 years? I don't know. I think this country will I think there's a good chance that the USA as it is will stop existing within 30 years. I think we're going to have some radical change. That's my thinking, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Immortality is kind of a time machine itself in a sense. Yeah, but I mean like the ability to just like travel directly, you know? What's your favorite hot sauce? My favorite for overall balance of heat and flavor is Crystal Extra Hot. But I like to have all different kinds of hot sauce. I like the really fancy ones, the really super hot ones, you know, the not that hot but really flavorful ones, you know, I'm all, you know. But my favorite for balance and then also cost, you know, it's not expensive. Crystal Extra Hot. My mother eats green chilies like a snack. I can't do that. You got to learn. Worst and best thing about being a leftist, the best thing is being right, and the worst thing is about being right because everyone else is wrong. 95% of Americans don't eat fiber, by the way. So, hey, I'm just saying, like, it's like that scenario. Like, everyone around you is a fucking moron. But also, at least you're right. Vandal Savage always comes to mind when I think of immortality. I don't know what that is. Favorite game? Doom? Who is saying this? I don't see their messages. Your best athletic feat? I did a pull-up once. Andrea, are you part Goron? Book. You can't tell the difference between rocks and food, apparently, lol. Well, I'm asking you. This is a philosophical question, Zeke. How do you know what the difference between rocks and food are? Is it, like, how do you know? Like, who told you? Where did you get this information from? Do you think humans have, like, an intrinsic knowledge that rocks are not nutritious in any way? And then also, if your response is, oh, rocks don't have any nutrition, neither do candy bars. Right? But, you know, so, like, what determines? How do you know and why and how what to put in your body or what not to put in your body? So it's more of a philosophical question. What's my favorite Ben Burgess sound drop? I gotta be honest. It's a tie between this one.
I would say, I'm not a beta male. I'm not a beta male. You know, you're a beta male.
Beta! And that one's great, right? And that goes hand in hand with this one.
Dumb as a shit fuck, you know, cringe tour, etc., etc.
See, I love that one because, like, he's saying things that I said, which I think is really funny, right? But then the other one where he's just having a complete and total meltdown about being called a beta male, right? Like, I really feel like that encapsulates Ben Burgess's kind of attitude. I don't know. I don't want to be too mean to him, but, you know, honestly, I really do think that him freaking out about being called a beta male is very... I think that is like if you could describe Ben Burgess and his behavior on the internet in any fashion, like, if you, like, any way you could convey knowledge, right? That's going to be the best and most accurate summary of his online behavior, in my opinion. My grandmother would pick a pepper from the garden and eat it with dinner. Hell yes, hell yes. Do you plan on doing the show in 30 years? I plan on doing a form of a show for the rest of my life. I don't know if it's going to be this show in this form, but I plan on doing a form of a show until I die. Would you lick the bottom of Bruce Willis's feet or eat a stick of butter that came... What the fuck? Eat a stick of butter that came from... Why would it... What does that mean? It came from... Like, he put it in his mouth and then took it out? Or, like, it was generated in his body and, like, you know, like, vomited up in some way? Like, what the fuck is that question? Crystal Extra Hot is hard to find. Favorite swear word besides MFer? I'm very privy to cocksucker. I like cocksucker quite a bit. I've got 12.5 years to 50. That's a while. Food is derived from living things? Okay. How do you define what's alive? It's true. I only understand and learn on this channel and do not want to deal with it for the most part. Yeah, leftist drama. Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun to like to watch. What are your thoughts on the CPC not backing news? Oh, I forgot to talk about that. Oh yeah, ask me tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow, and I'll do a whole segment. But I mean, it's the same thing I said really about the Build Back Better thing. I mean, once Pramila Jayapal and Ro Khanna started going on this Joe Manchin will eventually come around tour. What was that? In September? In September! Right? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that was, like, this is all just a foregone conclusion, right? Like, once that moment occurs, everything else that's happened is, you know, you just got to view it in that lens, like they're useless. You ever seen a show called My Strange Addiction? Don't Eat Rocks, LMAO. I've heard of that show. He deserves it, be mean. Bitcoin Cash is back. I doubt it. He gets so bent out of shape about dumb insults. It's incredible. It really is incredible. My Strange Addiction was very intriguing. I'm very intrigued right now. That escalated quickly. If me and Andrea are stuck on an island and a box full of candy appears, I'll take the box of candy and let Andrea eat her delicious meal of rocks. Well, here I'm going to be... You're going to get that sugar crash, right? But I'm going to be be in a fasted state right? So which means when you're fasting, right, you know, your vision becomes sharper, right? Like, you know, you're in more of a hunter mode. You're gonna be like probably passing out like a Snorlax in your candy coma. I'm gonna fucking come up there, I'm gonna bash your fucking head in, and then I'm gonna have you to eat for the foreseeable future. So, I don't know, feel free to take that candy. I'm gonna take those rocks and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you with it. That, you know, you're gonna think I'm gonna be eating the rocks. I'm gonna be constructing some tools and weapons, and I'm going to be harvesting your organs for my next meal. But have fun with that candy. Like a Pez dispenser. I'm going to go with the Pez, the Samuel L. Jackson Pez butter, just for the novelty factor. Would you ever do the one chip challenge? I've heard about this, but from what I have seen, it is not hot enough to justify the price. If someone gave it to me, like, I would eat it, yeah. But, like, I'm not going to buy it. It's, like, expensive for... Like, I've eaten ghost peppers. Like, is a one chip challenge, like, as hot as eating a whole ghost pepper raw? I don't... probably not. So I'm not impressed by... Now, I can handle scorpion peppers, ghost peppers, Carolina Reapers. I can handle all that shit. So, to me, like, most of the hot sauce challenges are just, like, you know, just buying, like, a heavily marketed product. All right, y'all. Any more questions? Q&A. For the Q&A. If it's Reese's PB cups, I get that protein from the peanut butter. I'll be running all over that island. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, if you're throwing your whole destiny on what random configuration of candies you're receiving, meanwhile, I'm developing Stone Age technology to beat your skull in, we are not the same. We will be having a different experience on this island. Can I eat those peppers live on stream? I could next time I find them. Would I like to go outside more often? I would love to go outside more often. I try to go outside whenever I can. All right, I'm taking the glasses off. Oh my God. Oh my God, the world is so bright. Oh my God. Whoa! All right, y'all. That's the show. Oh.
But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines and that they're defective devices.
Dub is a shit fuck, you know, cringe tour, etc., etc.
So notice something. I defended him on his bad joke because I have standards and I have principles.
$7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. I went in yesterday and there was a television screen and I said, this is genius. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. So stupid. So stupid. Thank you. Thank you. Bad deal. Should have never been thought of.
It's like, oh, Abel's your guy, eh, God? How about if I take him out in the field and beat him to death?
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.